Okay, then tell me straight. Tell me straight. Dave, is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice the hardest game you've played?
Yes. Is it the hardest game I've played? Yes.
Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of everyone's favorite podcast, the Critical Arcade Podcast. I'm your co-host, Nick.
And I'm Dave.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Nick. Are you well?
Yes, I'm well. I'm super well this week. I need to ask you, Dave, what is the hardest game you have ever played?
The hardest game I have ever played?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a complexity to play, or that drove me mental, is probably... what's that called? Super Meat Boy or Meat Boy or Meat Lad or what the hell
yeah, Super Meat Boy.
That drove me mad. Yeah, that drove me mental. But I know most people would say a Dark Souls game, right? Elden Ring or Dark Souls 1, 2 or 3.
Any of them would actually fit the bill. Any of them. Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Elden Ring. Anyway, yeah. Today's game is also up there with one of the hardest. It's Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Hell yeah.
Released in 2019. I'm sure people know it's a FromSoft game because if you've played any of the other ones, you've more than likely picked up this game by all accounts because it's a must-play for all those FromSoft fans. And again, this game did win the Game of the Year in 2023, right? This was, right?
2023, that was Baldur's Gate 3. This was 2019.
Oh, why did I... Okay, mistyped.
2019.
It won Game of the Year. It
did. And it was also the first of 2 Game of the Year titles that FromSoft have claimed, making them the only studio that has 2 Game of the Year titles from Jeff Keighley's Game Awards.
There must be the other one is Elden Ring, right? It has to be Elden Ring.
Yes.
Elden Ring. Okay.
It is Elden Ring. It's incredible. And I think it's well deserved.
Yeah, by all accounts, I was looking this up and there was a few interesting things. Did you know that Sekiro was originally just called Sekiro? And then Shadows Die Twice was like a tagline for one of their advertisements?
Yeah.
And then one of the American companies, you've got to keep that in. You've got to call it Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Marketing.
Yeah, so they kind of caved and said, okay. But when was the last time, when you're talking about this game, did you ever call it Sekiro Shadows Die Twice?
Never.
Absolutely
did you play never. Sekiro?
Yeah, no one uses that. Everybody was perfectly fine with just Sekiro, which was quite funny because it's funny how no one called... I didn't even know it was called Shadows Die Twice. It was just, Sekiro,
you just thought it was Sekiro?
Yeah. Oh, but I did also Sekiro loosely translates to one-armed wolf, which kind of makes a lot of sense narrative-wise later, right? Which is kind of cool. I always like learning a little bit of
that. Is that like kanji or whatever?
It's either a kanji or a traditional Japanese, but it's a very loose translation, I believe. It's kind of just more of a lore-based one than an actual direct translation.
Oh, that's fine. That's still cool.
On that note, should we jump straight into the narrative then? Because I know this is a game you love, right? This is up there in your list of top 10.
I've dove into every single FromSoft release there is, except for Bloodborne, and this is probably one of my favorites. My favorite being every single FromSoft game.
Did they do anything like FromSoft like long time ago? Did they do like a putt game or something like that? People that don't know about, or was it only been Souls like?
maybe pre 2008 they did loads of things.
Yes,
Kingsfield,
I can imagine.
Armored Core. It must be something.
Those are big games by all accounts. They got quite
they are. I mean, they even made an Armored Core 6 in 2023.
Yes, I know. With people enjoyed that one too.
Yeah. Fires of Rubicon Rise Up. So Sekiro came out in 2019. Yeah. And it's very difficult to describe. I think this game is an absolutely excellent experience from start to finish, except for the headless ape battle. I love this game.
Well, yeah, I know. Again, I'm as we said before, I'm a big narrative guy. Nick's the Dark Souls person. I haven't played many Dark Souls. I'm that one player on the internet that's not really played Dark Souls. But Nick, the story here I did enjoy. I am a big.
Oh, you did.
Japan. I love the capital culture, and of course, the story is set in kind of what's it called? The Shinjuku period of Japan, I think. Or no, that's the wrong word.
I don't know. I just called it feudal Japan.
A feudal Japan. So that's always a win for me. And I like the story of it. I like the idea that you take on Sekiro or the wolf, and I understand this. He's the personal guard of like one of the future leaders, right? Which then
he's the divine heir Lord Kuro's personal shinobi to protect him against ne'er-do-wells from across feudal Japan. Okay, that's you, Wolf. You were raised to be the badassest shinobi in the entire country by your father, Owl. His name's Owl. Your name's Wolf. You're just a couple of predators.
That's right. That's right.
And then you got enlisted to be Lord Kuro's bodyguard man.
And the young lad she's a young lad you're looking after. He's supposedly got divine blood in some regards, right? Which
correct. He's
immortality and all sorts of special things.
Yes, he's got the dragon's heritage blood, which supposedly gives him immortality. He cannot bleed. He cannot die. But the story goes that this dragon's heritage has corrupted man. And most men seeking power comes after Lord Kuro, and they get corrupted. They ask him, oh, please give me some of your blood. And then he denies. And then they start going crazy and kill everyone. So this dragon heritage blood is a curse more than a blessing.
Okay. And so this is what the owl was after. And I'm going to get what's his name? Genichiro, the guy that kicks your ass at the very beginning.
Genichiro Ashina.
Have you ever beaten that fight at the beginning, by the way? Because I am told it is manageable. You can win. It is
manageable, but no.
Have you ever done it? No.
No, I'm not interested. You can't Mikiri counter. You don't have any prosthetics.
Well,
You've got no skills. You are level minus 20. I am not interested in doing that.
I, a non-Dark Souls player, managed to also lose that fight. Just to tread that out there. Just to flex.
Yes,
just to flex.
Of course,
right?
Of course, you have to.
Yeah, right. And then the story starts off, like you said, fairly grim. You got the redemption arc. You've been helped out by the sculptor guy, right? Who's the cool little fella that upgrades your parts, stuff like
sculptor.
The one thing that there was, I swear that this has put the most pressure on me in regards to narrative, is that somehow you get the ability to revive again, right? You get resurrection from
yes, you're blessed by the dragon's heritage. Lord Kuro gives this to you at the Hirata estate once you fight and win Madame Butterfly.
Okay, but am I right that every time you revive, i.e. if you fail a fight and stuff, Dragonrot kind of increases in the realm that you're in, by all accounts?
Correct. Yeah.
Which is
for someone just because but just because you have the blessing and not proper dragon's heritage, when you die, your blood rots. So you need to borrow other blood from the country.
Okay, so by all accounts, I killed the entire planet. Because if it got worse every time you died, every single time I was getting stressed out now. Everyone was going to get like friggin' leprosy every time because I died a lot. Just the chained ogre himself kicked my ass severely. And I was like, whoa. So every time I die, I'm literally killing others, which I thought was narratively a lot of pressure to put on someone who doesn't know the control scheme or anything of these games.
That's what these games do. They manage to apply pressure in creative ways.
Yes, that's true. That's the first time I felt bad for dying in a game because some child somewhere or some mum in a field is getting more Dragonrot because I just can't block in time.
So they made these mechanics feel weightier even in the narrative, which makes them so much meatier. When you die, you're not just losing XP, you're making someone in the story sick.
Yes, that's kind of just so much worse. Like that.
It really is. But I must say that I think the story of Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, is the most straightforward story out of all of the FromSoftware.
Oh yes, definitely. Because this game narratively wise is kind of linear to some degree, right? It's not as massive as Elden Ring and varied outcomes to certain side quests and stuff. This is the story or the redemption arc of Sekiro himself, and the 4 different endings you can go for in this game, I believe, like in regards to a couple of decisions you make, and then whatever last decision you make, right?
Yes,
which
you
is
get
cool.
A bad ending, a neutral ending, a good ending, and a true ending, of which I've gotten 2.
Ooh, I was the true ending, because the true ending is the one that makes you feel the best, right? Because you're the truest.
Of course, yes. And it's also the one that opens the franchise up very nicely for a sequel.
Oh, but 2019, it's been 7 years? Is there a sequel? There a sequel coming?
I know. Since then, they've released Armored Core 6, which was great, Elden Ring, which was incredible, and the Elden Ring DLC.
Yeah, of course.
Which were all great experiences, but I mean, they're due for a big release.
Yeah, but do you think it's in the same vein as Bloodborne, right? Is it just we've done this now and we don't want to do something else? Right. Sorry, I know that's a button to push for all Bloodborne.
I don't know. Yeah, because we've stated before on this show that Hidetaka Miyazaki really doesn't like doing sequels, and he figured this out by making 2 sequels for Dark Souls.
Yes, that's right. And he just did not like doing it.
One sequel. Someone else made Dark Souls 2.
Oh, that's true. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah.
That's people's worst one, isn't it? Dark Souls 2. People that talk about
it is, but I mean, it's just because I don't like to think of it as the bad one. It's just not as good as 1 and 3. It's definitely the black sheep, but
fair enough.
It's just different. I don't even want to call it bad. It's different.
Yeah, I got you. No, they are all good games fundamentally. It doesn't matter if you compare them to what else we have nowadays. But the story does have that almost traditional Japanese story. The samurai lost his his position, his notoriety, comes back, tries to save the day, dies a few times. Has to there's backstabbing, there's revenge, there's plot twists everywhere, albeit an ape that doesn't seem to die when you kill him the first time, which is
the second time.
So there is a lot there. There's kind of a really rich Japanese-esque type story embroiled in the fantastical world that is all the resurrections and all the divine dragons and
I also feel like it's very unique to feudal Japan, where a big decision you make in this game is, do you want to be compassionate, stay with Lord Kuro and do the right thing, or honor the Iron Code? So once again, extremely Japanese. Do you honor or do you love?
Oh yes, exactly. Which again, in a lot of Japanese history, are kind of 2 big separate things, right? In regards to honor, is often trumps love and compassion.
You must follow honor, right? It's called the Iron Code.
No, it is very cool.
You can choose to break it. Excuse me.
Yes. Which also kind of if you choose to break that, isn't that one of the endings? Like it's kind of
it is. Sad, if you break it, if you break it, you open yourself up to the neutral, good and true ending. Whereas if you obey the Iron Code, that's a straight fire for the bad ending.
Yeah, by all accounts, that kind of makes sense because of the whole we're supposed to put love above all else. It's all the
but then you kill a 90-year-old man.
He's 90. He's had a good innings. It is what it is. There's worse.
Okay.
But yeah, as a FromSoft game, this is very narratively driven, and it very tied up nicely. I did enjoy this a lot more than the other Dark Souls games because they're
of course I thought you would, because this is the most narrative we've ever gotten out of FromSoft.
Yes, it's definitely. I think it's the highest score I gave it narratively. Visuals, what did you think?
Visuals, I think that this game has got its art style down. The art style for this is impeccable. They made a clear vision of what they wanted this game to look like at the start, and they followed through from start to finish. At the start of this game, you get a classic Japanese mountains, and then by the end you've went so many places.
Yeah, no
the
doubt.
depths beneath the mountains, right? Some autumn undead temple, right? The snow peaks. It's incredible, the places you visit and the sights you get to see. Burning battlefields, castles. It really is, dare I say, iconic.
Yeah, it's a smorgasbord of just fun places to explore.
Yes,
One thing it does really well, visually and slightly gameplay, is it doesn't make it like overwhelmingly large and like, oh god, I've got to go over there and I've got to go over there. You got some verticality, you got some buildings to go through, or some
you've got loads of verticality in this game,
which makes it a lot more. Again, we've argued this a lot of time that an open world, everything doesn't have to be this massive open sprawling world for you to go and search for hours on end. This has got a fun, like even the visuals itself tell the story. Be it the castle that you're attacked within, or the grounds you're attacked within, and then later on you attacking a castle and going into the forest and going into the mountains. It builds the same narrative that the game is trying to put across.
Yes.
And it's one of the things we've also discussed. A game doesn't have to be like pitch perfectly beautiful to display something that's really visually pleasing to the eye, right? Which Dark Souls.
No, of course not.
And FromSoft does really well.
I think so too. I really dislike the narrative that a game, the graphical fidelity of a game needs to be sky high. It needs to cost $300 million to make and look perfect. It needs to be the utmost pristine, graphically intensive game it's ever been made. But if the art style sucks, you get stuff like Concord.
Yes, exactly right. No, exactly. People go
the
off
characters in Concord at least.
And this is one of the I think I'm going to be under correction now, because I think Bloodborne. Does Bloodborne have its own character creation aspect or not? I can't remember.
I mean, kind of. You get to create your own character. You do create your own character, but you never see your character because of the clothes that you wear. Your body is completely covered.
But this is the first game where you have the set character. You have Sekiro.
Correct.
Another version.
Yes, they give you a character instead of you making or bringing your own. This is the first and only time thus far.
That's what I thought. And everything else in the visuals, there was so much like weight to things. Like I know, because I'm not particularly good at this game. I've died a lot, and I had a lot of thrilling excitement when you parry something properly. But because I was going through it so much, the parries actually have like visual weight to them. There was the one that got me was the first guy you see on the horse. I forget his name. There were his names.
Gyobu.
If you is that his name, or are you just saying
yes?
like your reflexes.
I'm just making noises. Racist Japanese noises.
Yeah, that's it. Who knows?
No, that's his name.
Okay, and if you deflect his strikes, his horse stumbles forwards. Right, there's actually a momentum to his movements, and it happens with vertically all the bosses, and there is actual movement to the combat that just feels...
Yes. And I think momentum's the perfect word to use. Every single combatant in this fight shows momentum, and those bosses and mini-bosses, these people... I'm calling them people. They're just code. These characters in this game, they've got such momentum, each and every one of them. So when you clash, it feels like an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object, and something's got to give.
Yeah, this is the first game I've played, be it the whole gameplay style and visually. It just feels like an epic sword fight, like the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type aspect. If somebody gets something wrong, you're dead. It's like Dark Souls had a lot of go in, roll out, learn your iframes. Like there was lots of strategy to it.
It was slower. It was a bit meticulous. You blocked, you strafed, but this game.
This was like an anime sword fight. This was just pure.
Right? Yes, an anime sword fight with the scan lines.
Yes, exactly, and it's so fun to watch, and visually in that regard, you couldn't feel more like a badass because you just see the sparks and the movement, and you manage to pin the sword on the ground and go in for everything visually about the fights here is insane.
It absolutely is. Every single one of these fights.
It really does.
It makes me so excited for the Netflix Sekiro series.
Yes, that's right. That's coming out in 2026, I think. I remember, if I'm not mistaken.
It's close.
That would be good, right?
It really does. It's close. We're going to watch this, I think, in the next couple of months or weeks even.
Yeah, I hope so. Because, everything else... Go on, sorry.
No, I think the boss design is something that is very, very, very deserved of the applause that this game gets.
Yeah, I know.
Some of these bosses are designed so incredibly well, right? It's phenomenal how some of these bosses look. The Guardian Ape it's a big ape, sure, but if you take a look at how this ape is made, it becomes fascinating, right?
Yeah,
this ape. Have you faced this ape yet?
No, I haven't. I do know of him, though. He's very notorious and stuff like that. But no, I'm not good at this game.
It's a big old baboon ape that fights you with the sword straight through its neck. And you think...
Yes, I do.
Whoa, it's got a sword. How? I can even grapple the sword. How is it fighting me with a sword through its neck? And then you dehead it. And then some funky stuff happens.
Yeah, I think the whole internet must have watched that fight, by all accounts. Because it's so nefarious.
I guess. I still don't want to spoil it for those who've not experienced the Guardian Ape fight. Yeah, but even others like the Headless, the Sichumen, the Divine Dragon, the final interaction with Genichiro himself. Some of these designs are incredible.
Do you know that the Headless I thought was a storyline boss? I've bumped into one of the... A storyline boss. I bumped into a Headless at one of the beginning areas, and I went down there, and you saw that weird dark area, and it's all purple, and I thought, what the hell? This game is insanely hard. I can barely,
Yes.
I was stuck. I kept going back there, and again. Sorry, just a weird... I was thinking, whoa, this game... People said this was hard, but the Headless was kicking my ass every moment.
Listen, the Headless... I keep the Headless for endgame, because the Headless are... The Headless sucks. I despise the Headless.
That has a big change in style because everything's more like a Japanese world gone mad or falling apart or going a bit mystical and magical. The Headless are just these horrible from hell weird things walking around that kick you.
Correct.
I'm guessing they have lore, right?
They do have lore, yes. They are the spirit corpses of 5 of Ashina's heroes. Ango, Yakushiro... No, I forgot their names. But yes, they are old heroes who've been beheaded.
That's good to know.
Anyway.
But yeah, visually this game is pretty fantastic. It really does hold its weight against Elden Ring, against all the other ones that got beautiful vistas and beautiful world building and stuff like that. Anything else visuals you want to talk about?
There's one thing in visual that's got its foot in visuals and in audio that turns this game up to 11 every time you use it. And that's the death blow. I know it's a gameplay mechanic, but it's a gameplay mechanic that makes you feel like Batman because it's so... Oh, I'm running out of words. It does its visual and audio... Audio aspect extremely well. Where if you death blow someone, be that in the middle of combat or stealthily, the visuals explode and the audio just disintegrates on screen. Where you get such a pure dopamine hit.
Yeah, you really do.
Every single time. It never ever gets old.
And the death blows are visually different for each character, right? In regards to boss fights,
that's right. Not only
and all things like that.
Yes, is it different for each character? It's different depending on your positioning of them. Whether you're in front of them, behind them, even on top of them.
Yeah, no, that is pretty cool. That's true. I noticed that as well. Which is so cool that someone thought, let's do a death animation. Let's do 2. No, let's do 3.
It's cool. It's just so pure. It's pure cool. This is the ninja power fantasy that
it really is.
Tons of people have.
I love the visual department were let loose on being able to do that too. Because who doesn't? Who doesn't want to do like the Kill Bill level of like executions or stealth attacks?
Exactly. And have it be over the top every single time.
It is.
You could just stealth blow them, sure, but no. The visuals department forced the game designers to have just an obscene amount of blood spray out of their necks every time you perform a death blow. There's no reason for this amount of blood. These aren't horses, but it happens.
And audio-wise, it kind of does that I don't know. It's like a cliche Japanese noise, right? In regards to that weird silence, there's like a spider bite, like, tsh, and then there's kind of like a quietness as you just watch the visuals take place in regards to you gutting someone or decapitating someone, right?
There's a silence, and then it's just just a big old orgasm of sound, and you can hear your sword Kisabimaru cut through the enemy, blood spatter, they go
okay,
and die.
Just a bit clarification, was that the name of the sword, or did you just let out another Japanese
I'm not being racist. Yes, that's the name of the sword.
It's like you've got like another consciousness that just comes out and goes okay, it's the name of your sword, is it? Okay, it's good to know.
Yes,
it's good to know. But yeah, sound wise, it's something visceral, especially just the act alone, the quietness of it. You even hear the blood, the weird like Kill Bill spurting noise of as it goes off. What did you think about the music then in this game though?
Okay, so the music's another thing that I think they absolutely nailed in this game. The three things that I judge when I listen to a game is the sound effects, which this game truly does well when you're sneaking, listening. The big serpent god, come on.
He was cool.
Sound effects he makes is cool, incredible. Well. The voice acting, which we'll get to, and the soundtrack, which by judging all three of these, I just had to give Sekiro a 10 out of 10. I had to.
Okay, the thing is, I have to ask you then, Elden Ring, what's the soundtrack score on that? Also 10 out of 10?
I don't know. We've not.
I know, but I mean personally, what do you think? You played Elden Ring.
I think it's great. It's been a couple of years since I've played it, but I think it's really good.
So I know I've watched many a person play Elden Ring. Again, I don't really have the skill or the flexibility to do those things. I know pretty much all the boss songs from Elden Ring, be it the Skin something duo, the Margit song, the
Godskin duo.
Thank you. There you go. Those
Market the Fell
fellas.
Omen.
There we go. That music stays with you.
Yeah.
I didn't find the music in this game to stay with me as much. But you did, I take it. Maybe it's just me. We both know you're the audio man compared to myself. I really can't say. Granted, hands up, not good at these games. I've got many hours in it, and I don't particularly think I got super far. I'm just not that good. So maybe I wasn't.
Okay. Full disclosure.
Yes.
Dave, how far did you get in Sekiro?
Okay. Full disclosure, or I'm a man and I want to kind of just make it up so I don't feel so bad. Because it took me a long. I got stuck at the fireball thing for a really long time. Because
what fireball thing?
There we go. He doesn't even remember it's so early.
No, please, don't say which fireball thing.
After you beat the first big guy on the horse, the guy, and then you go into the next area. There's like a bull on flames.
A fireball! I thought you said fireball. No, the fireball.
No, bull. Okay.
Goodness, that's a headache of a boss.
When I was here, I
don't like the fireball.
It's so hard to get out of the dodge roll like Dark Souls thing instead of the get in your face and just reflect everything, right? So until I slowly unlearned what I knew and just started standing my ground and deflecting things. That took me a real long time.
I'm
trying to think where I am.
That's a good segue into gameplay, but we're not done with audio yet.
Okay. Audio is like you said. It is. I always love a game that's dubbed in two different languages. You got the original English and you got the original. Japanese,
but
which do you play? What do you play?
If we're being honest,
if
we're being honest with ourselves, is there really any other language this game should be played in?
You're right, German, right? Nothing hits harder than feudal Japan with German accents. Like,
yeah.
No, you're right. I'm guessing you played it in Japanese too, right?
Of course. The real way to play Sekiro.
And it's weird to say, ladies and gents, I know it sounds so purist and stuff like that, but if you do it, listen to it in Japanese, you will get more immersed into it.
You absolutely will.
And Japanese voice actors are some of the best.
Come on. It's so good.
There's something so like weirdly aggressive with their shorter words and stuff like that when they come across the things, or almost sorrowful.
Yes, and they shout and they sound gruff.
Yeah.
And it's good. They sound like they're really trying to be an old Japanese battle-hardened warrior, where the English subtitles are trying their best to just sound good. That's it.
By no account,
Isshin sounds like a war veteran.
Yes.
Sekiro. But
no, it is super cool. No, absolutely
it is,
right.
but the English voice actor is just trying to sound good. Sekiro. It seems like we have to battle yet again.
That was very like old school Resident Evil or whatever you just knocked out there.
Exactly, but that's what I'm.
There is a noticeable difference.
To convey.
Really is.
It's a horrible accent, by the way, that I did. Excuse me.
That's right. Like I said, I can only imagine that's another one of your like subconscious people that came out again doing your American.
One of my personalities.
That's it. It's not a horrible dub by all accounts. This isn't actually the worst dub in the world. It's not. It's just that it's not as good as the Japanese. It just isn't.
It doesn't even come close. Not because the English is bad, but because the Japanese is just it's chef's kiss.
Yeah, it hits so much better. The Japanese hits so much better. Does.
Okay, you mentioned.
Go on.
Something about audio that leads into gameplay. What was it?
Oh yes, I remember. What did I say now?
Anyway, I think if we can dive into gameplay, I think that this is the tightest combat FromSoft has ever made.
Yes,
it's airtight. There's no room for anything else. Oh right, no, I remember what you said. You needed to unlearn.
Yes, you did. That's right. I really did have to unlearn the roll, dodge, attack type thing. Yes, true.
Correct. And that brings me to, I think, the biggest point that I have to make for the gameplay for Sekiro is that for the other games, for the Dark Souls games, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, even Demon Souls, you could make your character and play this game on your terms, right?
Yes,
you could play this game how you wanted to play.
Yeah.
You could fight with whatever weapon, whatever style. Anyway, this game is definitely not like that. You need to come to this game's terms.
Right. It's unapologetically.
You need to find this game where it is. It's not going to come to you. You need to come to Sekiro's gameplay.
That's right. No, I'll put it out there. Again, not my type of game. The gameplay in this, the sword play, is better than Dark Souls games. It's so much more in your face. It's so much more
better than Dark
edge.
Souls. The gameplay in this is better than 99.9% of every single other game that has ever existed.
Yeah, by all accounts, there's nothing about the feel of parrying. Be it that your boss is going on like a 6-hit combo and you parry all 6 of those hits, just like
not just parry, perfect parry.
And it just feels exactly the perfect parry. Sorry,
you get different kinds of parry in this game.
You do,
how is it conveyed? You're right, audio.
Yeah,
through
the audio. That's right.
Audio with the swords clashing. If you parry, and it's a slightly off parry, it's just gonna be a blunt gung, iron against iron. But if it's a perfect parry, it is the clang of two katanas facing each other, and there's no other sound like it. If you can perfect parry Genichiro's floating passage, you have ascended.
No, it feels like that. You feel manly in this game. Just the one-on-one aspect to blocking, striking, pressing all the different counters to red attacks or not.
Yes.
It's so next level. Like I said, and I say this from someone who failed a lot in this game, but the fighting itself just brought you back for more. Just the idea of getting it right this time. Yeah. It's so clean. And like you said, it's such tight controls. It's such a well-balanced, none of this slow loading in regards to doing your next move or maybe it's so good. It's like no other. There is no game. There's no other game.
There is no other. Like when the gameplay, when the combat clicks, it feels unreal. It feels unreal when this combat clicks. Boss fights don't just feel like you're trying to do more damage than the boss is doing, and then the winner is the one who does the most damage.
That's right.
It feels like duels. You against Genichiro, against Sword Saint Isshin, against Madame Butterfly. These are even the headless ape, the corrupted monk.
Yeah.
All of these. It is insane how this feels like one of those big anime fights where the world is on your shoulders. It's so unnecessarily dramatic.
And you can parry everything. Now, granted, I know your poise can break.
Most
things. There's some grapples you can't, of course. Sorry, that's...
the grapples. You get the big red kanji on your forehead.
That's right.
Then you either need to jump, dodge, or mikiri counter. That's the thing. Yeah. They give you a split second and you need to decide, this cannot be deflected.
Yeah,
I'm seeing the red kanji. Do I jump? A. Do I B, sidestep, or do I see Mikiri? And you have a split second to decide which.
You have to read the Matrix in that very moment. It's like you're just seeing code coming through on the screen, right?
So,
and of course,
FromSoft knew that the windows are so insanely small that they have made the bosses or the combatants telegraph massively.
You'd have to. Yeah, they
you can see, the telegraphing is huge.
Yes, but quick.
If you know where to look, you can see what's coming.
No, exactly right. No, exactly, and he does. And every one of the boss fights has that beautiful choreography in regards to gameplay in that regard.
Yeah,
so that
feels like a dance.
Lots of people said the same thing. If you look through reviews, a lot of this game is like doing a tango or a waltz or something like that. It's so precision. You very rarely accidentally do a move. You have to counter that.
Very intentional. Very intentional. I don't think there's any other country where you can say the combat feels like a dance.
Yes, that's granted. And of course, like most things, grappling hooks. No, every game is improved by a grappling hook, which of course
that's very true. That's very true. No game has ever been made worse by the inclusion of a grappling hook.
Exactly. Everybody loves swinging through the trees, buildings, whatever, and the grappling hook being his new arm, again adds verticality to pretty much every level, or even just cunning on strategy in regards to what you do with every level. For me, one of the cool things, of course, in this game, unlike other Dark Souls games, you get to revive once. Even though it's killing the rest of the world around you, it is kind of handy to have that aspect where if you're taking on a boss fight and you've got them down to the last 10% and you die, you think to yourself, oh, it's worth a revive now. But if you're getting your ass absolutely handed to you, you get to go, I'll just die and start again. It's a nice little mechanic in there to kind of at least give, for me, a little helping hand in regards to what I'm doing.
Yeah. Even everyone who started playing this game, you need that. And no one's good immediately.
And this is one of the first games, or again, I don't know if it's the only game, where it doesn't have the exact souls mechanic, right? You collect your souls and then you get
XP, and then you get XP and you get Sen, which is the currency. And for the first time, they're separate.
Yes, that's right. And it's
if you get
set
XP,
level build-up, right?
Yes, if you get to a certain point, you can bank your XP and you can spend those points on skills. Not just a stat increase, an actual skill that you use in battle.
Again, like you said, you're playing the Sekiro way, not the make yourself a mage, not make yourself a knight.
You're playing
Sekiro's way.
You need to come to this game's terms.
Yes.
It refuses to come to you. And I think that's what makes when it clicks, there's nothing else like it.
And I love the little gamble when you die a lot of the time, and I can't remember what it's called, unseen favor
aid.
or something like that. Unseen aid, and you go yes. I rolled the dice.
You know how that mechanic works.
I know it's kind of built into not dying a lot or something, right? Because
correct. So the unseen aid works with the Dragonrot, the sickness that's going around.
Yes,
the more people that are sick, the less chance you have of unseen aid. If no one is sick, you have a 30% chance of getting an unseen aid.
Really?
If tons of people are sick, you have a 4% chance of getting an unseen aid.
Yeah, I think I was hitting that 4%. Yeah, I don't think I was hitting that 30 anymore. Which is kind of, it's still fun.
But eventually, you can cure everyone.
It adds a degree of kind of like, you feel angry when you lose, right? Oh, God, they beat me. Oh, damn it, this is too tough. Yeah. And then you get the unseen aid and you go, ooh, I still have my candy.
Yeah, I did it. Oh, nice.
I get to maybe bank in or grind a couple bad guys so I can level up again. It is very well balanced. Like, I must admit, I got my ass handed to me so much. And you can die quite easily in this game.
Everyone did.
You really can. Do you know that in the PC version, you can actually get a mod now that quickens his movements because people thought the bosses at the end of the game are just too hard? Granted, when this is when this was released a long time ago.
Oh, stop that.
I know.
Okay, then tell me straight. Yeah. Dave, is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice the hardest game you've played?
Yes. Is it the hardest game I've played? Yes.
Okay. I get it because
which game have you played that's harder?
Hard.
Yeah. Which game have you played that's harder?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't.
I'm trying to
I don't think there is one.
No, this game is hard, but it's a good feeling hard. It's like every Dark Souls. It's an overcoming. If you can overcome something, you feel better. But no, I'm not. I cannot stress enough how bad I fundamentally am at this game. Like, you keep telling me, oh, I've got up to Julia. I'm like, whoa, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm close too. Whilst I'm still taking on the chained ogre who just keeps throwing me over his shoulder and chucking me off the side of the mountain.
Yeah. Okay.
The gameplay wise, it has it in spades. And again, like, the best thing about it is how smooth and crisp everything is. It's so tightly done, and it's so.
I would compare this to learning an actual musical instrument, and I can say that.
Yes, that's true. You can say that. It's a bit nice flex over there. His degree in recorder. He's got all sorts of instruments you can play, right?
Cool. Okay.
Anything else?
Performance? No.
Performance.
This game runs smooth. I don't have any gripes at all.
No, nor me. Went really well.
Right,
really well. No rendering.
We're playing both of us. We're playing this on the PlayStation 5.
Yes. It's originally out on PS4, right?
Yes, PS4 and PC. And I think Xbox too, because this was published by
Yes,
Activision.
It was. This was on Xbox as well, yeah. I know that.
So
no problems. Ran fine.
You get fast reloads when you die. You get 60 FPS gameplay. It's been patched for years, so there aren't any bugs.
Yes.
The hit detection is... I don't want to say clean, because I've been on the unfair end of hit detection. I'm sure you have as well.
Yes, same. Like I said, not everything's going to be 100%.
No.
So no problem. Go on.
And the camera on the small, there are some small boss arenas, and the camera's bit me in the arse in those small arenas.
That's and to be honest with you, that the first time you meet the snake god thing, that thing kept kicking him. I first didn't even know it was there, and I was like, "What the hell just hit me?" And then I looked up and I was like, "Holy crap! There's a huge
it's the
snake
serpent deity."
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, that was a cool moment for me, by all accounts."
Yeah.
Okay, what did you think value for money then?
I think this, I think this is great value for money.
Yeah, same. It's around $60 on pretty much every platform right now, which means, granted, it's hold its price point because it's such a popular game. But on average, this has got like 30 to 50 hours. If you're good at it, like 300 if you're
30 to 50. That sounds good. That sounds right. That sounds about right. For your first playthrough, 30 to 50, yes.
Would be.
Subsequent playthroughs are going to be shorter unless you need to collect everything and you're a completionist. Then, I don't know, I'm up to like 100 hours.
Wow. But you've played, how many, you've obviously done 2 because you got 2 endings. This is your third playthrough.
Yes, I've got 2 of the endings. But I take my time with this.
No, same.
And I collect everything.
I said, so does this have a new game plus mode? I can't remember.
Yes, it does.
So it does. You can do the new game plus if that's your type of thing. Where
you can go on to journey 2, 3, 4, 5. Blah blah blah.
Oh, okay, cool. Which, like you said, there's a lot there. If you want to, of course, chase down all the 4 different endings, like you said, you got 100 and 120, 130 hours.
Yes, you need
Shura, right?
You need the Severance, you need the Purification, and the Return ending. Get them all.
Yeah, and for $60, again, we question all the other games that are coming out now that are short or useless or just full of microtransactions. $60 is a decent price for this.
Yeah, it is for a game with no microtransactions, for the full experience with no DLC. One payment and you get the entire experience. You don't get that anymore.
And being a game that's now hitting 7 years old, you can still see why it won. Like, you are still playing this game going,
absolutely.
Yeah, okay. I get it. I get why it won that. And it is for $60, go buy it. Go, the physical editions are kind of everywhere. It's not a hard game to find. It's definitely one of those games that should be in everyone's collection.
Not a hard game to find. It is a hard game to play.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to touch that because, a flaming ball kicked my ass.
Do you think this game needs an easy mode?
We debate this all the time because I know how upset you were. They put an easy mode or a difficulty scaler or something in one of the Dark Souls games, and you were one of those people like, you can't change the difficulty on Dark Souls games. It goes against Dark Souls and everything it means.
Oh, it really does. It really does. Don't get me started.
but no. I'd hate to think what a difficulty mode would, like an easy mode, would do to this. You know, it just increases damage output, but if it makes the fighting slower or something, that would be really sad. But no, I think it should stay the same. But granted, means I'm going to be putting 200 hours into it. But yeah, I think it should stay that way. So what did we score this in the end then, by all accounts?
Our scores for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice were having a peaceful little life in a Sengoku age Japanese village. Until one day it got raided by another clan. I don't know what this clan's called, but it got raided and everyone died. And us, a little score boy was the only one that survived until it got taken in by Owl and raised into the letter grade rating of A-.
That hurts Nick more than you know. That minus right at the end.
It should not have this minus. That was not.
This is the podcast Dragonrot right there. Just went into his heart a little bit. He died a little bit inside from that A-. Yeah, that's me.
My scores for this were impeccable. No,
they were.
It should not have this minus.
But like I say, you could kind of see Nick's a big FromSoft Dragon Souls type game.
Oh hell yeah!
Me, I'm more turn-based narrative, so that's why you get kind of 2 points of view in this.
But at least this one has a good, upfront, straightforward narrative. I can't imagine you have a soft spot for any of the Dark Souls games.
No, that's exactly right. I would not give the same score for Dark Souls games because they're too open-ended. And even Elden Ring, I even forgot what the hell I was doing. I forgot. I know there's certain... I was like, what? I don't know which one I'm coming down. Like, which path am I doing right now? But yes, this was a great storyline. I did really enjoy it. It's the highest score I gave the game was the storyline in this game, I think. Yeah.
Oh, makes sense. I think Sekiro is an excellent game, truly.
Yeah, it's a must. It's a must play.
Yeah, sometimes this game feels like more than a game. Its parts are incredible, and sometimes it's more than the sum of its parts, which makes a game feel like art.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that FromSoft has made so many games now that it's not missing. You know what I mean? It's not.
No, yeah,
even Night Rain did better than it should have done by all accounts.
FromSoftware isn't missing. It isn't.
It's crazy.
After an entire Dark Souls trilogy, Bloodborne, Sekiro, it's just it came out with Elden Ring.
It's crazy.
How?
It sadly must be on the calendar that they got to just do something like. And horribly, it's going to be either Sekiro 2 or Bloodborne 2, which I know is taboo for me to put out there in the universe. Yeah, exactly.
Don't let FromSoft either die a hero or become a villain.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's in the today's architecture, it's hard not to think that. But no, FromSoft, we do believe they will continue making bangers. Exactly.
And also, thank you for giving us Sekiro Shadows Die Twice list. We appreciate you.
Yes, all hail the list. All hail the list.
Yeah. Okay, and also thank you, audience. That's you listening to this right now. Thanks to you for listening to this episode. Leave a review, subscribe, like, comment, share, tell your parents, all those cool things. And subscribe to us on YouTube. We really appreciate your support. So tell everyone. Thank you.
Every single person.
Yes. Don't tell them where we can follow Dave. I don't even know where we can follow Dave. Dave?
Well, you can follow me out this week, but I've been volunteering at my local pet shelter and homes in regards to learning about animals. I went to the zoo, I read a few boards, and so now I've fully become trained, and I have in my possession the great white shit-flinging ape from Sekiro. I've got him. He's annoying. He's frustrating to keep. He just eats Doritos all day. But you come and find me, I will give him to you. He will be squeezed into your car, and this guy just does not die. He does not stop crapping. He does not stop moaning about your lack of Doritos, and he will just continuously ruin your life. He will be the third wheel to your life perpetually. Let's hope your wife likes a white ape. There you go. That's what will happen if you follow me. You will get a undead.
You'll get a white ape. Is this a euphemism?
Yes, you fundamentally it could be. I'm multi-layered in everything I say. So yeah, if you want that, if you want your own possession of a big rampaging white Dorito eating Sekiro ape, by all means,
don't do it.
Me.
Don't do it. If you don't have a mortal blade, and if you don't know how to handle the undying, do not follow Dave. Rather, have Dave tell us what have we got lined up for next week, please. Please, Dave. I'm too excited. What have we got lined up?
I don't know why Nick is having such a run of luck recently, but next week, after playing his Sekiro, one of his favorite games of all time, we should be getting our hands on Resident Evil Requiem or Resident Evil 9, right?
Yes,
Would this be 9,
yes,
right? In this whole thing? Which, of course, Nick's a massive fan of all the Resident Evil games and being scared and getting shot at and stuff like that. Me, not so much. So, yeah, we get our hands on the brand new Resident Evil game. I could say I'm looking forward to it. I know their stories are always bangers, so that is something I am looking forward to.
Yes, it's this ridiculous, over-the-top roller coaster of a good time.
Yeah, I love its combination of horror and absurdity. I love it. It does that well.
To step into the shoes of Leon Kennedy and Grace Ashcroft. It's going to be such a good time.
No, Leon's one sexy man, even though he must be in his 40s now, right?
Oh,
that's one sexy dude. But yeah, so listen next week on our take on the new Resident Evil game. It should be a good one.
It should, and we'll see you then. Cheers!
Cheers!